Hello, hello, hello. Hi. I know it's been forever. I did not want my first video back to be about my dear brother Will Smith and Chris Rock. I'm telling you, you guys know that I don't even normally do these whole current event videos and things like that because I'm like, who cares about my opinion? But I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my opinion out there because I want to know what you have to say about my opinion. That is the beauty of this wonderful world of social media and press and all of those things. Again, I've missed you. I had to take my own mental break. Okay. I needed a mental health break. Mental health awareness and mental health wellness is crucial. It is crucial. But I took like 5 minutes. Hopefully, this won't be too long and I don't go off on the rant because I had these notes and these points that I wanted to do. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to hop on for about 5-10 minutes, talk to you guys about how I feel because these are all feelings, what my opinions are, and let you kind of make your own, inserts, under the post and you tell me how you feel about it because I'm interested in knowing. We are all in this world together, working together, but it's amazing that we're all different. It's amazing that we all have our own opinions. It's amazing that you are good at something and I'm not good at something because that means I have an opportunity now to work with you and you have an opportunity to work with me and we can learn from one another. Okay? So just be kind in your comments, okay? I'm not sure that I can tell people on social media to be kind because I was reading some of these comments. I just got dragged on a post under Tony Baker. Shout out to Tony Baker. I did not agree with you. And let's just get into it, okay? I'm not going to do a reaction video where I replay that because honestly, I don't want to see it again. I have watched it enough. I, like many people, I thought that it was fake. I did. I initially thought it was fake because I was like, no way in the entire world would I Am Legend. You could put whatever person that you relate to him, Mike Lowry. I don't even think Mike Lowry. Now, Mike Lowry might have did that. I don't know. Mike Lowry might have been out of pocket like that. But I'm just saying, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. No way in the world am I seeing this, and I can go down his entire catalog. Because it's massive. I was really shocked, and then and let me lie. I said let me lie. Let me not lie. I actually laughed because I think I was kind of like Chris was. I was like, did Will Smith just like hit his fellow like actor? I don't know what their friendship is, and I don't really think that's important in this video. But like, did he just smack him? And I was like, no way, is this true? And then I watched it again, and I said, oh my goodness, this is true. I watched by the tremble of his lip. I saw his countenance change, right? I just thought that this was horrible. And here are some points that I want to make, and I'm going to get in and get out. The first point is Will is a man and Chris Rock is a man, okay? I'm not a man, I am a woman, okay? So this is from a woman's perspective. I don't know anywhere where I have seen a man disrespect another man of that caliber on national television. And we can talk about the Kanyes and how he did that to, was it the Swift girl? Sorry, not. I don't do these because I'm not hip into all of this, but I remember him making a spectacle of himself, not just there, but probably many places that we could talk about. But what I'm saying is, I've never seen in the actor world a man go to another man in a comedy thing or in a movie situation, in this case in the one of the highest achievements that you can get at the Oscars, right? The Academy, where you have to be invited to attend. I mean, let's be clear. I've never seen that happen. So this is the first time I've ever seen it happen, and I'm sad because it was two black men. You knew I was going to talk about it. You see, I'm black. If you're watching this and you are not black, this is about race. It is. It's way deeper than Will Smith becoming unhinged, because that's what this was. This was Will Smith unhinged. He had been taking the weight of the world, per se, on his shoulders, especially with him and his family, not just with he and his wife. I'm talking about with him and his kids, their opinions, how they respond to certain things, what his son is accepting in his career and what he's not accepting. Like, they have really lived their life out loud and in the public eye. So I get it. Okay. I am not famous. I am also not a millionaire and a multi-millionaire. And my name is also not Will Smith or Jada Pinkett Smith. You understand? So my woes, no one cares about my little woes because I'm not at that level. So when the air begins to get thin, so much so to the point that you feel that you can get up and smack another black man in your field because of a joke, that is crazy. And let me tell you something. I know that he just apologized about 20 minutes ago, or maybe 30 minutes ago. I'm not sure when it was posted or what time zone it was posted in, but I know that I saw his apology. I saw that he finally apologized to Chris, and he also apologized to the Academy. That's the second apology for the Academy, the first apology for Chris. My issue is that I, as a black woman, did not feel protected in that moment. And if Jada Pinkett Smith felt like her husband was defending her honor in that moment, wow. I would not want my husband of 22 years, I've been with him for 29, on an international platform. You have to understand, this is not just the United States. This is not just, everybody in the entire world. All countries are watching this, whether they're getting it delayed or not. I would not want him to run up on a stage and respond out of emotion. It was emotional. It was irrational. And he had a moment to think about his actions. There are so many things that I begin to pick apart. It's kind of like watching Get Out. Shout out to Mr. Peel, right? It's like you watch Get Out the first time and you're like, whoa, that is real deep. You watch Get Out the second time, you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't see that the first time. You watch it a third, fourth, and fifth time. Yes, pick me. I've watched it like 7 times because I love that movie. You begin to unpack and unpeel. No pun intended. Sorry. You unpeel those layers of those onions. And for me, there are many, many layers of to this story. Okay. I saw a black man who felt like he needed to publicly defend his wife because, in somebody's opinion, maybe he hasn't been doing that and he had to prove a point. And so I started vetting my friends and I started asking different opinions. I said, so what did you feel about that? And one of my friends said, well, you remember in 2016 when Chris Rock was like, me and Jada, you wasn't invited. And I can't believe he made $20 million on Wild Wild West. Now, Drew Hill, y'all know I love y'all because that song was the bomb. But did you see the movie? It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a joke. That was a joke. Chris Rock is a comedian. Chris Rock is a comedian. Then I'm learning different pieces of the story where, hey, he had help from the Academy, whoever is one of the writers. All of this stuff has to get approved. I know you don't think that they let the stand-up comics just get up and do whatever they want to do. This is a big deal. Again, it is an invitation-only event. So you don't get to just go up and do slapstick comedy and think that you're going to get away with it. This stuff has to be approved. So this was an approved comment. So much so that when he started it, he said, now, Jada, I love y'all. He said, I love you. He said that first. He said nothing about her illness because then that's another layer. That's another layer. The next layer is she has an illness and he's making fun of her illness. He is not. How many of you saw G.I. Jane? I actually was like, that was an amazing volley to her because Who wouldn't want to see Jada Pinkett Smith playing G.I. Jane, the reboot? Who wouldn't want to see that? Pick me. I was like, oh my goodness, she is so cute. She's a little cute G.I. Jane with her buzz cut. We know why she did it. Now, some people know, some people don't. To Chris's defense, he did not know. Contrary to popular belief, everybody is not up on the red table talk. Like, everybody's not watching the red table talk. Everybody is not watching, the blogs when it doesn't concern them. Okay? So we have to think about all of those things. But in that moment, in that very moment when Will Smith laughed at first, but then saw that his wife was like, oh, that was corny, when he made a conscious decision. Conscious. Now, I don't know. We can't talk about his mindset there, but he made a conscious decision to walk up and slap Chris Rock, who had his hands behind his back. That was something that husband talked about. He said, look, he's like, if we look at this too, his hands were behind his back. You took him completely off guard. And for that one moment, shout out to Chris Rock, because you could see he kind of bucked at him like, am I going to, I felt like I heard Wayne Brady saying, am I going to have to smack a me? Excuse me, because the curse and all that stuff, you're not going to hear that here on this station. But I could hear Dave Chappelle's show in my back, like in the back of my mind, because you could see Chris Rock, but he handled that with so much grace, so much class, and he said, you know what? And I'm not speaking for him. I'm just thinking that in that one moment, he said, that's my black brother. We have fought hard to be included in this academy. We have fought hard to get our just due for the work that we have done. I am not going to spoil this moment any further. He even said it. He said, oh, like, he kind of was like, I could say something, because he could have. He had the mic. And even though, they had an interruption in the live show and they muted all of the content, the professional videos were still released because there were, this was all over the world. You can never take that back. Even your apology to me is what you're supposed to do. But you should have did it that night. And that night, you used King Richard as a reason for you to act out. Something that is totally different. King Richard wasn't defending his wife in the movies or in real life. He was defending his children. And you are supposed to defend your children, and you are supposed to defend your wife. Let us not take what I'm saying and saying that I don't want my husband and I don't expect your husbands to defend you, because that's not what I'm saying. But that is not protecting a black woman signed a black woman. To me, that was chaos. And to me, that was exactly what they expect of us. And when I say they, I mean people who are not brown and black. Okay? I want to be very clear, because I can only speak from my perspective, because this is the skin that I live in. Okay? And so this is not me getting into a debate with you. I'm just giving you my opinion. And the reason why it wasn't addressed quicker is because honestly, I'm feeling like people wanted to see what was going to happen afterwards. And that's not cool. It's like, Chris Rock didn't have a problem with getting slapped. We're good. But you can't tell me that you don't think that somebody in the academy is like, this is exactly why we don't. And this is exactly why. And this is exactly how. And even Will Smith can't control himself. Look at them. Because contrary to popular belief, Will Smith represents us. I was reading these comments and as I was getting dragged on social media, which is okay, because I can be an unpopular opinion, it's fine. But you have to realize that these people who are multimillionaires, they've amassed all of these followings all across the world, every race, color, creed, religion, all of those things. It's funny how when you find someone that is as good as Will is in his profession, that supersedes everything, right? It doesn't matter. It goes across races. It goes across religions. It goes across some of your normal beliefs because he's so dynamic at what he does. Same thing with Chris Rock, right? We can throw Richard Pryor in there as well. Okay. We can start throwing all these names out. Okay. But he has amassed a certain status and he has amassed a certain amount of wealth as well, so that he felt like, oh, I hit the mic. He felt like he could do that. Because what? I'm Will Smith. And even in the way he walked off, he felt like he could do that. So the people without the millions and millions and billions of dollars and stuff like that, what we have to say, what I have to say may not really matter because the air isn't just yet for me. I'm saying just yet for me, okay? Because I speak prosperity and I speak wealth over my life. But when you get to a certain status, you are a representation of whatever color you are or whatever religion you believe in. That's true. That's not false. You can look at Muhammad Ali. We can use a boxer. When he decided to make his vow to his religion, he now becomes, whether you like it or not, or whether you agree or not, he becomes an unofficial spokesperson, not just for black people, but now for his religion. So they're looking like, oh, is this how everybody in his religion thinks? Look at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Well, we know he was an activist, so of course he's going to be looked at for his race, but he's also looked at as a Christian because that's what he believed. He becomes an unofficial, official, because we know he was an official representation of the civil rights movement and how we felt. He was our spokesperson. So when you amass a certain amount of notoriety and a certain amount of money and a certain amount of wealth, it puts you in a place as an expert when we didn't make you an expert, but because you're multi-millionaire, almost a billionaire, you can be like, no, I'm an expert in this. And I want to give you some gems. That's what he does in his book. That's what he does when you hear him speaking. Will Smith has gotten to a point where he feels he can give you certain information. And some of it I agree with it, some of it I don't, but that's just like anything. You don't have to agree with this opinion. And that's okay. So the fact that he disrespected a man, the fact that he disrespected another black man, the fact that he chose the Academy, the Oscars, to do that and then let's not even forget, shout out to Philadelphia, #215 all day every way, all day every way and every day and all of those things, because I'm from Philadelphia. Okay, I love Will Smith. Okay, I don't know him, but I have always looked up to him because I thought it was awesome because he was even putting my city on the map. Okay, and we helped get him to where he is. He did not get there by himself. I wish people stop saying I'm a self-made man or a self-made woman. You are not self-made. You get here on the backs of other people who have paved the way that may have not gotten the same recognition, or I don't know, because of me. Because I went and watched Men in Black, every one of the ones you made. I went and watched what's that movie that he was in, The World, what was that movie, Darnell Jackson? The World movie? What was the movie? Huh? No, not I Am Legend. I knew that one. There's another movie that he did about the world or something like that. I can't remember the name. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad. You talked about it in the car. You said there would be no whatever without. What movie was it? Huh? Independence Day. That was the movie. Yes, Darnell Jackson is in the studio because, I didn't know if he was going to want to chime in or give his opinion. So I said, stay close. Because we had a serious debate about this. Because I was upset and offended as a black woman. While everybody else was looking at this as something totally different. I was like, no, this is a race thing. This is a people thing. This is something that, I saw somebody else saying, hey, this is something you could have handled backstage. This is something you could have handled out in the parking lot. And guess what? He could have even flipped him the bird or even cursed at him from his seat. And I'd have been like, oh, he went too far. But her disease was not the point of the joke. That wasn't the point of the joke. So he was a black man. He was a man. He was a black man. You did it just at the worst time. This wasn't the time or the place. You did it arrogantly. Okay? You did not apologize. You did not apologize immediately. You should have apologized immediately. Immediately. You should not have waited till today after your publicist was like, you're really getting reamed. Some people supporting you, some people aren't. But you really have to just say something, Will. We know how this works. Do we not know how this works in the world of the public eye? You should have been apologized, okay? So then you did that, and you almost felt like justified in what you did, and then kind of cried a little bit. And so, even the tears to me, it was like, we have to defend ourselves, and this, and Richard was crazy. He sometimes would look crazy. No, Richard was doing what he had to do for his children. It's just not the same thing. Somebody else said, well, what if, that's what I got reamed about. Let's be honest. You're only mad because Chris Rock was black. And I said, wow, how shallow do you think I am? No way. No, sir. No, ma'am. I'm not only mad because Chris Rock was black. Let me tell you something. This would be a very different conversation if Chris Rock wasn't black. How about that? Because if he was white, not only would security have been out there, hello, yeah, Academy, where was security? When is it ever okay for someone who is not presenting or accepting an award to walk up to the presenter? That's never okay during a live recording. Never okay. That's always like, danger, what's happening? We don't know what's happening, but let's pause this. Well, you need to sit down. Let's cut to a commercial break. But they wanted to let that happen. Understand. They wanted that to go on. Oh, that is so crazy. Yes, I know I'm not supposed to show you my cell phone in the middle of things because sometimes you can't see it. And you may not be able to see it at all, but there you go. So let me get this right. It's okay to make fun of this, but it's not okay to make fun of that because balding is an issue. Everyone doesn't go bald. It is a trait that the mother carries to her son. It's not something that you can control, but it's okay to make fun of people who are balding. When does a comedian have the ability to be free in his craft or her craft? He was not making fun of the fact that she had alopecia. We know people with alopecia. We know what the struggle is about. That wasn't that. Which is why he prefaced it with, I love y'all, but I can't wait for G.I. Jane 2. Because he was doing his, job. What he was getting paid to do. And Will Smith should have practiced restraint. You don't get carte blanche to get up there and do whatever you want to do. You don't. You don't. And I'm not accepting the black men that are like, #defend black women, protect black women. I don't want you protecting me that way. And it was so funny because we got into a really spirited debate. Okay, my husband and I, but he brought up some really good points. How many black men stood up for Whitney Houston before she passed away? She had a mental illness. How many of us protected her publicly? How many of us didn't laugh at the fact that she said, crack is whack? You've never heard me say that I do crack. We thought it was funny. We laughed at her illness. We still loved her. We still revered her, but we did not say, hey, we shouldn't be laughing as a community. I'm trying to figure out how many famous black men and how many black men I know, because I'm seeing all the black men I know saying defend my wife, defend whatever. I'm trying to figure out how many of y'all was doing that. You weren't. Another good point was Wendy Williams. And we already know that Wendy Williams got her mess. Wendy Williams, we all know that. But guess what? She made a living doing that. That is what she has been doing. She is a gossip columnist. Like, that's what she did. She made money off of gossip. TMZ makes money off of gossip. And when we are watching that, how many of y'all protecting the people that they talk about? Saying, defend our black women, protect our black women. What are we doing? So I want us to, you know what? I got a question. How many of y'all went up and slapped some of these folks when we were just watching the news and politics? I didn't want to bring politics into this. How many of y'all went and it just was like, I'm gonna slap all these people out here trying to, disparage this not girl, she's a woman of character, and she has earned her right. How many of y'all was out there?
Zero. None of them was out there.
I'm just saying.
It wasn't out there. The fake outrage at an all-time high. I'm sick of it.
I'm just saying.
Be consistent.
I'm just saying. We can't pick and choose moments when we're like, defend our black women. That should be something that is, to his defense and to his statement, consistent. So I just wanted to get on here. I wanted to give my 2 cents. I wanted to just say, hey, Will, I still got love for you. I'm glad that you apologized. I was doing taxes. It's tax season. So, I got to do taxes because my clients, they don't play around. And let me tell y'all something. I'm going right back to taxes. Y'all going to get your files because they will text me and be like, oh, so you doing videos, but you're not doing my taxes. Okay. That's how my clients roll. Okay. But I am, an up and coming influencer or whatever you want to call me. I am, hashtag the faith stalker. And, I was going to bring the Bible into this and just so many things. But I said, you know what? I don't even have to do that. I don't have to talk about Ecclesiastes, talking about there's a time and a place for everything. I don't have to talk about us understanding that heavy is the head that wears the crown. I don't have to talk about those things because those things should be understood. When you are at a certain level in your life, and even if you weren't a millionaire, I'm being honest with you, even if you're not a millionaire, that kind of behavior is not acceptable. Somebody said, I think the Tony Baker one that I shot, and I love Tony Baker because we were standing wide. That's my guy. But he was like, look, it's equal opportunity, pippity paps or whatever he was saying. And he put where Will Smith had smacked a white guy who was trying to kiss him. 2 different contexts. That's what we do with the Bible. We be taking things out of context. The Bible said this. No, because the reason why he said that is because in that time, X, Y, and Z was happening. So we were just pulling things together and pulling things out of our hats to try to justify his actions. They were unjustifiable. And whether he believes that apology or not, that's why he was made to apologize. Period. And Chris Rock is the hero. He should have gotten an Oscar. They should have said, you know what? We're giving you an Oscar right now. Seriously. Because he had to collect himself. What would you have done in that situation? I know a lot of men that would have knocked him out without even thinking. It would have been a whole fight. And we'd have been like, and somebody said, oh, I'm tired of y'all saying that the Academy was so black. Okay, have we not been fighting for equal rights as black people at the Academy?
Oscars so white, boy. Everybody fighting like, little dang Oscars. Nigga, shut up.
That's what I'm saying. And the comedy for everyone else that was getting drugged. Somebody else had made a comment about, when Martha Stewart was getting made fun of. And all of these things. Like, you could pull all of these white people who were getting reamed for their very serious, life issues. Did they go up and slap the presenter? No. Will Smith took an opportunity because he knew that wasn't Chris Rock. And I think that is just how Chris Rock is. He has shown me a different side of him. So much so that he didn't even press charges. And somebody said, oh, well, he didn't press charges because he knew he was wrong. Absolutely not. He understood the assignment and he did what he was supposed to do. And he knows that having another multi-millionaire who is black suing a black man, that's not good. That's not good for the culture. That's not good for the community. And he taught his children self-control and self-restraint and how to stand up truly to a bully and take the high road. That is what we praise Michelle Obama for talking about. When they go when they go low, you go high. That's what he did. He was the epitome of that. If that's what we should put as a picture. If that's what it looks like. Chris Rock looks like the epitome of when they go low, you go high. He was shocked. And I think he was embarrassed. And he said it. He was like, okay. He was talking it out. Will Smith just slapped the crap out of me. This is going to be the greatest moment in the history of TV. And the greatest, not meaning the greatest. The greatest meaning this is terrible. And this is what we're going to remember when my fellow Philadelphian was about to get his Oscar. Guess what? Some of y'all don't even know what was coming next. It was an opportunity for Questlove, my brother Amir, to get up there and say thank you for him winning his Oscar. That was a big moment for him. And what Will did was told me that because of who I am and because of where you put me, America, because we put him there, he did not get there by himself. We went to the box office and we bought tickets. We went to the store and bought the book. I have Will's book right here. I started to reach over and show it. I bought his book before it came out. We put him there. He showed us it's okay to act irrational every now and then, and that's not okay. Not when you are where you are, sir, and not anywhere. I stand by that. Now, we was in the street, and he said, yeah, because your wife has, in her, blah, 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 and he was in a different setting, then he might have gotten checked. And even if Will would have went backstage and knocked him out or felt like he had to approach him, I would have been like, okay, Will, that was overboard. Seriously, it's a joke. But I would have respected him a little bit more. I lost so much respect for that moment. Because we do have self-control. Not just a black person. Everybody has self-control. God has given us common sense. And whomever you believe in, your creator or whatever, you guys believe in. I never talk about different belief systems because I know they exist. So whomever is your higher power, you know right from wrong. And this just wasn't right. I heard a young lady who was also dragging me. She said, well, my boyfriend. And first of all, I was like, okay, you're not even married. So not that you don't have an opinion, because you do have an opinion, but what everybody is saying is because that's his wife. But okay, you have a boyfriend and he would do the same thing. And guess what? He would be in prison. You know why? You would be in prison. You know why? Because your name is not Will Smith. So let's not act like this is an equal thing. This is not equal. This is Will Smith and all of us with our opinions. This is Chris Rock and all of us with our opinions. We are not on the same level. We aspire to be, and some of us will be soon. I claim that over my life, my children's life. I do. My family, all of that. People who are connected to me, that I'll be able to get to a point where I can make some real social change with the finances that you guys help me make. Because I know that it's not going to be something that I'm going to achieve all by myself. Somebody's going to have to help me get to the top. Same thing about your dreams and your visions. Now, some people can do it alone. Very few people do. You have a mentor. You have somebody that's seeding money into your ministry or seeding money into your dreams and your goals. You're going to have at least 2 or 3 people. There may be only 2 or 3 people, but you're still going to have somebody that's helping you get to where you're going to go. So I'm just saying, Will, I'm disappointed. I really hope that you are going to get counseling after this. Seriously, and this is not even a joke. This is about mental health. That you seek the proper help that you need so that this never happens again. So a white man, a black man, a Hispanic man, an Asian man, like I don't care what your race is. And I think that's the point. The point is it happened to 2 black men. So we're going to address that. But if that was a white person, I would be like, Will, what are you doing? Wrong place, wrong time. There is a time and there is a place for everything, guys. So that was my 2 cents. Thank you for listening. If you fast forwarded and you're catching this at the end, go ahead and like, follow, and subscribe. You can share it if you like. I hope you caught on to my 30-day How I Faked It Over challenge. Hope you went and bought my book. All of those things you can find on this YouTube channel. You can find me on Facebook. I am Sonia Sessoms or Mama Spitfire or whatever you want to do. Or if you just don't want to follow me at all, then that's fine too. But I am just speaking out for not just women, but also black women. That's not what we want you to do, kings. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to risk your careers. We don't want you to risk your images. You know, it's hard enough that we are fighting police. You understand? And I said I was ending, but do y'all understand that for real? We are in 2022 still fighting for social justice and proper civil rights of people of color. Basic rights that we should have. Like, I should be able to say, sir, why am I an Uber driver and I'm saying I don't want to get out the car and I want to see your supervisor, but my rights get violated and I get tased? What is going on? Why is it that I can be jogging and get murdered? What is going on? How is it that I could have a mental illness and my family tell you that I have a mental illness, but the cops still shoot me to death because I'm black? So when you tell me it's not about race, and when you tell me if it was another way, it would have been, no, I'm telling you, it would have been bad either way. And what if, and what, all of those what ifs, it really doesn't matter. The hypotheticals. We're talking about what actually happened. We are fighting different kinds of wars. We just are. And now we have this to contend with. That's black on black crime, ladies and gentlemen. And just because they had suits on, don't make it any better. And just because of their names, it doesn't make it any better. It doesn't make it any better. It's worse. When you're looking at the Source Awards and the Vibe Awards, and this is no, y'all know I love y'all. You know, I used to watch it. We would be watching though to be like, okay, who's going to be fighting at this award? Or this award show? Who's going to be fighting this year? Because last year it was the East Coast against the West Coast. This year is this set against this set. This year is like, I'm just saying, when is enough, guys? There's plenty of room for everybody to eat and eat wealthily. Like, everybody can get their seat at the table. But what happened yesterday was just not acceptable. Those are my 2 cents. I love you guys. I can't wait to see you in the month of April. We got some good content coming. If you haven't already found Faith Stalking on Spotify, please go and follow that channel. We're going to try our best to give you video content and podcast content. This was just me, playing around and, not playing around, but playing around with this idea of giving you my opinion on current events. Because I was nervous about it. Because you know me. If you know me personally, you know that this took a lot for me to do. But I just wanted to say, and I'm sure there's so many other points that I missed, and I know this is longer than 10 minutes too, but I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to talk about all of the issues and all of the ways that I felt when I watched that. And I kept watching it, and I keep watching people, just make fun. And it's just, I don't know. But guess what? It's comedy. Somebody else is going to use this in their joke. And it's okay, because it's going to be a joke. But what happened was not okay. I think, and before I go, I want to even talk about, Darnell Jackson said, Well, what about Richard Pryor when he got up and he made a joke about his drug abuse and how he was freebasing and got caught on fire? We cracked up at his mental illness. Shout out to Martin Lawrence. You know we love him. He had a mental breakdown. We cracked up at his mental illness. There was no defend our black men, protect our black men. And we were like, oh my gosh, Martin is crazy. And we kept it moving. Like, you can't pick and choose. We're either going to be consistent or not. So I'm not going to pick and choose. Will was wrong. Chris wins the award. He responded like a true black king. And that's how I want all of you to respond. I came home and asked my children. I sent them a text and I said, hey, what did you think about that? Reed said, oh my goodness, not at the Oscars. She's 15, about to be 16. I asked my 20-year-old because, you know, young people, they feel like they can pop off and do whatever they want to do. My almost 21-year-old son said, totally disrespectful, especially at the place he was at. And I said, oh, wow. So you don't think that was cool for you to go ahead and defend, you know, your mama or something like that? You don't want to go up and just slap the presenter? You don't think that was cool? He was like, no, Mom, that just wasn't cool. He was like, I'm disappointed. And then guess what else he said? He said, I had to research what G.I. Jane was. He said, and that was such a good joke. It was a joke. It had nothing to do about her illness. And then for all of us who are using this illness, you know, so we could get alopecia on the map, she already talked about it on the Red Table Talk. And she talked about how she was embracing it and how over the years it had, you know, it was something that plagued her. And I'm just paraphrasing because I don't know exactly what she said, but I watched it. Not just now, but I watched it when it aired. And she talked about how she was beginning to become secure in the fact that, hey, yeah, I have alopecia. I'm going to rock out with it. I'm going to shave my hair. How her daughter supported her in this, you know, this mission to just embrace who you are. But alopecia is not killing her. It is a joke. It was just a joke. Now, if he got up there and she had terminal cancer, or she had lupus, or she had MS, or if she had other things, like, I would be like, Chris Rock, like, what? I would have knocked you out. Now, that might have been the thing. Because my spouse is here dying. You're making a joke. She's not dying, guys. She looks so cute, too. I'm going to tell you, she rocking that hairstyle. I mean, I might have to go ahead and G.I. Jane it, too. But now, people are going to look at Will Smith a second time, and maybe even a third time, because they're going to say, now, wait a minute. We know Will is going to be the best for this part, but is Jada coming? Don't, make sure we put in there, don't say her name.
Out of your mouth. Don't say her name at all.
Don't say her name. It's just, you can't tell me that that's not what people are thinking. You can't. You cannot convince me that that's not what's happening. So, I don't know. I could go on and on about it. And I know this is like my third close. That's typical of like a pastor, you know, get up and you start some things and then all these other things come to remembrance and you're like, and another thing and a fifth thing. And I'm not going to do it to you anymore. Look, like, follow, subscribe. I love you with the love of Jesus. I'm so glad that you came to join me or even to click on this or share it or give your opinion. I want to know what your opinion is. I like having healthy debates. Don't disrespect me because I'm not disrespecting you. That's all I ask. We could do. He is not going to slap you. Because that's another thing. And then I'm all for this. See, because
I'm going to get up and slap anybody.
He's not going to do that. Do y'all know that as a black man, when you are the head of the house, you are representing your house. Everybody that's in your house, your wife, your mama, your dad, all of those things. Like, you didn't just embarrass your wife. I'm going to think that Jada, I don't know what Jada's thing is, because, you know, I don't be knowing. I mean, she's still in love with Tupac. That was somebody else's thing that said Will had to prove that he was just as thug as Tupac would be. And I said, that's another perspective. Still wrong. But I'm glad he told me that, because I was like, yeah, you can think of all of the things that Will was thinking of at that moment. Still not right. But here's the thing. I'm not going to do that to and embarrass my family, because that puts pressure. I think Jaden had he made a response too. That's how we roll, and I didn't understand that part, but he talked about his speech and things like that. So I wasn't sure that's how we roll, because I hope that's not how you roll. Because you, Jaden, can't do what Will did. Willow can't do what Will did, because he would be taking them out of jail. That's just period. Immediately. No way in the world can you go slap somebody, commit a crime, which is assault. That is a crime. You can't go commit a crime and then sit down in your $1,000 suit or $200 suit or however much it costs. No, you don't have enough money in the world to do that. And to me, that's what it looked like. I'm Will Smith, and this is what I'm going to do. I didn't like it. And to me, you have to be a representation of your family too, which is why I'm careful of the things that I even put out on the internet. If I'm out, certain places, I say, hey, I don't want no cameras or something like that. I have to make sure that I'm respecting not only myself, but I want to respect my family. I don't want people to be like, oh, your wife was out doing the wobble too hard. And I'm going to tell you put the wobble on, you're going to see me rock out. Okay? That's my jam. But I'm just saying, it matters what people think, even though it doesn't matter what people think. And that went over some of y'all heads. But it does. And for all of us who are like, I don't care and all those things, that's not, to me, that's just not a good way to look at this. It's a teachable moment. Because it matters what your boss thinks. When you go to your job and your boss writes you up for being asleep at the desk and for being late 10 days in a row, do you go up and slap your boss, whether they black or white? Because you're offended at the fact that they telling you something. Like, I'm just saying, pull anything out. No, you're not doing that, sir or ma'am. You're not doing that when people are joking at work. Somebody's joking at your job, it's an inappropriate joke. You're not going to slap that person, because your career depends on that. This man has $300-something million or whatever he is, billionaire, whatever he is. So he's not going to act that way. Did you see Jay-Z and Beyonce do that? I'm just saying, I'm trying to name prominent black people that I have saw or that I've seen in the public eye concerning their wives, and they go up and slap people just because they felt like it. I'm trying to think of another example other than this one. I don't remember it. You tell me it, and then I can, apologize and say I was wrong. Sidney Poitier did slap people that talked about his race, that talked about his, his art. I'm trying to remember prominent black people that had an opportunity to lash out, and they did that. What was your statement, Darnell Jackson?
I'm trying to go back to the point where
Sorry for sniffing. I don't remember.
Barry Belafonte.
I don't remember.
Martin Luther King got stabbed and still ain't slapped nobody.
I don't remember.
Got stabbed by a black woman. Consequently. Didn't slap anybody.
I don't know, guys.
My problem isn't with the fact that what he did. Of course it's wrong. My problem is people's defense of piss poor behavior. And if you think that's good behavior, you have growing to do. It should bother you. And if it doesn't, you need help.
And 48 minutes later, guys, that's it. I'm not editing any of this. You're just going to get everything the way it is. Even the sniffling in the back. Y'all pray for Mr. Sessoms because he has a cold. And I was like, I don't know. Should I have you in the room while we're trying to do this? Because I'm not trying to have you sniffling on the camera. But I just wanted to make sure that, you heard what we were talking about. Because this is a conversation, guys. So, yeah. I said 5 or 10 minutes, but I knew it wasn't going to be 5 or 10 minutes because I had been boiling since last night. Literally boiling. Like, wow, I can't believe this. And for another black man, I was getting drugged by a black man on my post, for him to say, please, the only reason why you're upset is because Chris Rock wasn't a white guy. I was like, that's not the only reason. To me, that's the reason why you black man should be upset. For real. I'm like, that is the reason why you should be upset. Because you're not defending my honor by potentially losing money for our family. That's another thing. Let's call a spade a spade. You know, I know she got red table talk and all those kind of things, but the breadwinner of the house is Will Smith. So what he does has the potential to affect his home. So no, I don't want you going up there to potentially affect our home. Then the other thing about it is he's rich enough that people are going to be like, okay, give it like a year or so or give it whatever. I saw him and Michael B. Jordan, or him give a shout out to Michael B. Jordan. I was like, oh my goodness, it was going to be I Am Legend 2 with Michael B. Jordan. Oh my goodness, it's going to be epic. But let me tell you something. If Michael B. Jordan went up and slapped Chris Rock, he would be arrested. Period. If Oprah Winfrey decided that she wanted to take her rich self and go slap people that have offended her or made jokes about her, what? You guys would be like, would you be like, go ahead, Oprah, do it. Please don't say that you would be like that. Please don't say that. No, what he did was wrong. That wasn't defending the honor of his wife. It was irrational. It was emotional. He acted out of ego. He acted out of hurt. He is hurt. And I could tell he was hurt. That's why I watched it so many times and I paused it. And the way that his lip trembled wasn't just anger, guys. That wasn't just his anger. That was just a look of exhaustion. He's exhausted. He's been drugged. And y'all talking about this August Alsina and stuff and things like that. They had an arrangement, guys. That's not even the same thing. Somebody said, well, he should have punched August Alsina like that. No, they had an arrangement. He admittedly said we were both being reckless. What he did was reckless, but we were both feeling like we weren't coming back to the situation. You do you, I'ma do me, peace out. Just don't let this get into the public. And then it got into the public, so here we are, red table talk. And that was even painful of him watching his wife not admit, hey, what is an entanglement? What does that mean? You know? So like I'm taking all those things into consideration, and I have taken them into consideration, but my point and my opinion, because it is mine and I'm allowed to have one, still stands. Will Smith, I love you, but you were wrong. I'm glad you apologized. I am. I'm glad you apologized. I wish you would have made it right that night. But look, Chris might not even wanted to talk to him. Chris probably was like, if he come over here again, I'm telling you right now, we fit in the box. And he would have been in his right. You know? So, yeah, shout out, guys. You guys be safe. Again, I love you with the love of Jesus. This is Pastor Sonia, a.k.a. I am Sonia Sessoms, a.k.a. Mama Spitfire. All of those things. I'm signing off. Please be sure to subscribe. Please be sure to give me your comments, because I actually am interested in your comments. I want to know what you feel. I want to know what you think. We know that the apology is out there, but we've heard so many different viewpoints, and we're still hearing viewpoints, and we're going to see so many memes, you know? And you know what? Now this is a comedic moment, you know? And are we supposed to now say, don't make fun of that? Because we're going to make fun of it. Because we can't believe that Will Smith, Mr. iRobot, oh my goodness, slapped his peer on national television. Crazy. Peace out, guys.